Yo, I'm Drew Gilchrist, and something you might not know about Amsterdam is that weed out here is actually illegal. I know you might see all this stuff like, look, there's a coffee shop right there, yeah? All of it is illegal. None of this is legal. And so not only is it not legal, but the way the laws actually work out here is everything is kind of done by magic, and for the consumers, everything kind of looks all right, but for the people who actually run the stores out here, it can be scary every day to just wake up and go to the store. I mean, not necessarily quite like that, but there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of paranoia when it comes to running a place like this because it's illegal and there's a lot of loopholes. So let's take a little walk and I'll start explaining what some of these loopholes and laws and weird magic regulations actually are. So all of the videos that I'm doing out in Amsterdam for this trip are sponsored by Family First Concept Store. And if you don't know what this is like a store which is everything supreme out here in Amsterdam. And I know you guys are into your clothes just like I am. Well, a lot of you guys are. And look, have a look at this. This is such a sick place. Look, so many Supreme tees, ranging from about 125 euro up to like 230 euro or something, around that sort of price. A huge range of t-shirts. Everything you could, everything you could ever want. So these guys don't just do Supreme here though, they do all sorts of stuff. Most hype things they will get in stock, and I'm pretty sure you guys do Louis Vuitton orders as well, right? So if you need anything from Louis Vuitton and you're out here, then you can also put in an order with them, and obviously you could get something like these shoes. So don't be missing out on the Family First Concept Store. They've only been open for about 2 months, so if you're out here and this is your type of thing, please show them some love, and yeah, enjoy the videos that we've got going on out in Amsterdam for this trip. And hopefully we'll be coming out here again and doing another trip. So yeah, let's get into the video. All right, so I'm out here with my housemate Finn. You might have seen him in some of the content somewhere. But so this is actually a good question for my man right here, which is that, do you know much about the laws out here?
The laws?
The laws,
no, not really.
When it comes to like the coffee shops and everything like that.
Not really. You just, I guess as an average British person, you just kind of know that you can go and smoke in Amsterdam, right?
Of course, of course.
That's kind of
Did you know that it's not legal?
I didn't know it wasn't legal. I guess you'd assume it was legal,
You
right?
would assume that it was, right?
Okay.
So here's the basic laws, which you would need to know as a consumer. You're allowed to have 5 grams on your person, okay?
Okay.
You're allowed to have 30 grams inside your home, all right?
That sounds about right, yeah.
And you're allowed to grow a plant as long as it doesn't have a light. Just want to correct a little thing here. I think it all depends on which city you actually live in, because some cities have different rules for growing. Some are 1 plant, some are 5, so, but definitely no lights.
Okay.
Okay, so that's your laws. So with that, how would any bud get into a coffee shop?
What, like someone dropping it off?
Yeah, because you're only allowed to have 5 grams on you.
Oh, so that's the grey area.
He's getting it.
Okay.
Now, you're allowed to have 500 grams inside a coffee shop, at least in Amsterdam. In certain other areas, it's different limits. Some places are up to like a kilo.
Yeah.
How does that get into the store?
What do you mean?
How does it get into the store? You're only allowed to 5 grams on you.
Oh, okay. Don't know. They grow
You
it
reckon a guy
downstairs?
comes in with 5 grams every time and stocks up each bit with 5 grams?
No, I assume that they kind of overdo it a little bit in that situation.
Yes, of course they do. Now, here's the other thing. How do you reckon that they grow the bud for the coffee shops if you're only allowed 1 plant without a light? Do you reckon they have loads of people all growing 1 plant with a light?
Yeah, you get a discount if you grow for them.
You only get a discount. You don't even get it for free. You grew the bud. You get 20% off, mate.
Yeah.
No, obviously, okay, so obviously the way everything works is everything's just a grey area out here. Everything's tolerated. Everything is just, if it seems like it's legal, then it kind of is. But it makes it a big problem, because if you were one of those guys and you were walking about with, say, 500 grams on you to restock a coffee shop and you got stopped, you're fucked. Like, how are you going to prove this for a coffee shop? Which I have somehow zoomed into my face. I have heard of times where people have been stopped, you know, to restock a coffee shop, and they've had everything taken off them. I've heard of times where, you know, there's been grows for coffee shops and they've had the whole place raided and everything's been taken away.
Yeah.
And you know, we were just actually complaining in one of the videos about some bud being 18 a gram, right? But you've got to think, with the laws being the way they are, some of these places lose a lot of money. A lot of money, and because there's no regulation, it's just this big kind of no man's land of, are you allowed to do this? So, look, I'll keep explaining a bit more about the laws out here. Let's keep walking. Me and Finn are actually going to go get some food. Well, so this is actually a good segment to move on to, can you get food and smoke inside out here? Is that legal? Which, yes it is, but there aren't coffee shops that serve food. I mean, technically there are, but they have to be two separate entities. They can be in one building, but it has to be like two separate areas or something like that. So nobody does it, and nobody has a big enough space to do it because coffee shops licenses are for places that are fucking tiny.
And
so
to be fair, you wouldn't want to go into like a small little coffee shop and then it just stinks of like chicken or something. You know what I mean?
Instead of the bud. I mean, no, not really. I don't know if that's something I would really think about, but we'll talk about the licenses in a bit, about how it comes to having a really small premises, and about how the licenses don't get given out anymore and you can't get a new coffee shop anymore. We'll go through all of this in a little bit, but these were the consumer laws and how the coffee shops are made to live in a very awkward way. But we're gonna go get some food, and we're gonna smoke inside as we eat some food, because that is legal out here, but there just aren't really coffee shops where you can smoke and eat inside. It's like they're two separate places. There are a couple coffee shops where they serve some food. It's really not very common, but we are gonna get some like chicken wings, some toasties. I mean,
whatever we can find, really.
Bro, the food out in Amsterdam is awful. Awful. It's like the worst place for food ever. You'd think it'd be the best place for food ever because so many stoners, right? But it's so bad.
It's very processed.
It's very processed.
I thought there would be a lot more like, it sounds shitty, but like more like organic places. I don't know.
He wants a Whole Foods, bro.
It gave me that vibe, you know what I mean?
Man wants the Whole Foods.
I do. I wouldn't be against it.
He would not be against it. Look, let's go this way. So I'm going to talk about the licenses for coffee shops for a brief moment here. And if you want to learn more about this specific subject, then I have a video on my channel about 5 years ago called Amsterdam Has Changed, and it has a lot more info about this specific bit than what I'm about to tell you right now. But essentially, coffee shop licenses aren't a thing anymore. They don't get given out. So they exist, but you can't get one. So if you wanted to make a coffee shop, you can't just get a license for one and then make a shop. You have to buy one off somebody else. And not only that, but there's also this new regulation with schools where if you're too close to a school, then a coffee shop has to close. And obviously you couldn't make a coffee shop next to a school and expect the school to close, right? But you can make a school next to an already established coffee shop and then just expect them to close. Like, the laws out here are not in favor for the coffee shops. Like, that's a law that's put in there specifically to get rid of them. Like, absolutely no sane person would see that and would be like, oh yeah, that's okay, just put your school next to this coffee shop and expect them to close and have them not be able to get a new license for another premise, right? So the license situation out here is sketch. It's not as simple as you'd think, and it's really not that nice. So look, we've gone through the consumer stuff, we've gone through the actual physical coffee shop laws themselves, we've gone through the amount you can have on your person, we've gone through the licenses, and the final thing I want to talk about here is the growing situation, because I know I said in the video earlier that you can have one plant. I think I corrected it. Hopefully I remembered to correct it to say I think it's actually 5 plants. Depending on who I ask in the Netherlands, they tell me different things, but it's either 5 or 1, and you're definitely not allowed to have lights, I'll tell you that. But what I do know is the government in the Netherlands is currently doing a trial to see if legal growing should become a thing, which, spoiler alert, it definitely fucking should. Like, how has it taken this long? But regardless, the Netherlands government is doing a trial where they've taken a bunch of coffee shops. I'm not going to name any names here because I do know some of these people who are involved, but they've taken a couple coffee shops, like some of the biggest names in the Amsterdam city centre, and they've said, hey look, we're going to give you guys this massive facility. You can, use this to grow your legal stuff, and then you can stock the coffee shops with it. That's kind of all I know right now. I have seen videos of these facilities, and I've even been told when they're set up, maybe I'll be able to go and have a little look around, but it's a bit of like a, there's lots of contracts and lots of stuff that people can't say, and I'm assuming I'm probably not even supposed to know as much as I know right now. So that's all I'll say is it is looking bright for the future. The laws are looking like they might change, and it might be a bit more of a consumer friendly, less just tolerated and more by the books, this is okay type thing. Because right now, it's not. And weed in Amsterdam is not legal at all. It's just tolerated. Everyone goes out there thinking it's legal when it's really, really not. And then when you think about the laws in like an actual, you know, practical perspective, it makes no sense at all. So I would love to know in the comments down below, what are your thoughts on Amsterdam's laws? Do they make sense? Do you prefer it being tolerated? Do you like it like this? Or do you want it to be like a proper regulated area where everything is kind of done to like a book and it isn't like, you know, all up in the air? Because I get that there are some benefits from this system, but at the same time there's a lot of downfall because of very obvious reasons. So yeah, I'd love to know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button just down here, and the notification bell so that way you get notified every single time I upload. The next Amsterdam video that's coming out is a lot more intense than this, a lot more outside filming, so get hyped for that. It's a really, really good one. I think the next video is actually the best one out of this whole Amsterdam series, so get hyped for that. And yeah, if you're in Amsterdam, make sure to check out the Family First concept store if you're into your clothes, because trust me, there's going to be some pieces in there that you don't want to miss. So yeah, see you guys soon, have a good one, and enjoy the next Amsterdam video. Have a good one, peace.